Welcome to the story of how humanity captured lightning in a jar. For centuries, electricity was a fleeting mystery, appearing only as sparks or storm clouds. Today, we explore the pivotal transition from the concept of animal spirits to the birth of the modern battery. Our journey begins in 1936 near Baghdad. Archaeologists discovered a small clay jar containing a copper cylinder and an iron rod. Dated to approximately 250 BCE, this artifact, known as the Baghdad Battery, suggests that ancient civilizations may have understood basic electrochemistry. The mystery lies in its purpose. Was this device used for electroplating jewelry with gold or silver? Or was it simply a storage vessel for scrolls? If it was a battery, it predates official modern inventions by over 2,000 years. Despite the intrigue of the Baghdad Battery, the formal scientific pursuit of electricity surged in the 18th century. Scientists were fascinated by static electricity, but they lacked a way to store or generate a continuous flow of power for their experiments. In 1780, Italian physician Luigi Galvani made a startling discovery. While dissecting a frog near an electrical machine, he noticed the frog's legs twitched violently when touched by two different metals. He believed he had found the secret of life itself. Galvani coined the term animal electricity. He hypothesized that a vital life force resided within the tissues of living creatures, and the metal probes simply released this internal energy. This idea captivated the public and sparked intense scientific debate. However, Alessandro Volta, a fellow scientist and friend, was skeptical of the animal part. Volta suspected that the frog was merely acting as a conductor, and that the electricity actually originated from the interaction of the two different metals used. To prove his point, Volta removed the biological component entirely. He began experimenting with various combinations of metals and liquids, testing the sensations they produced on his own tongue to detect the presence of a weak electrical current. In 1800, Volta succeeded in creating the first true battery, known as the Voltaic Pile. He stacked alternating discs of zinc and copper, separated by cardboard soaked in salt water or brine. This simple tower changed the course of human history. The Voltaic Pile was a breakthrough because it produced a steady, continuous flow of electricity. Unlike static generators that produced one-time sparks, Volta's invention provided a reliable stream of power that scientists could finally study and harness. Volta had successfully proved that electricity did not require a living host. By demonstrating that chemical reactions between inorganic materials could generate power, he effectively transitioned the world from animal electricity to the era of electrochemistry. News of Volta's invention spread rapidly across Europe. Napoleon Bonaparte was so impressed that he invited Volta to demonstrate the pile at the French National Institute, cementing the battery's place as the most important invention of the new century. While revolutionary, the Voltaic Pile had a significant flaw. As the battery operated, hydrogen gas bubbles formed on the copper plates. This polarization increased internal resistance and caused the current to drop rapidly over time. For the next 30 years, scientists struggled to find a way to keep the current steady for long durations. The instability of the early batteries meant they were difficult to use for practical applications, like the emerging field of telegraphy. Enter John Frederick Daniell in 1836. An English chemist, Daniell sought a way to eliminate the bubble problem. He realized he needed a two-part system to prevent the hydrogen from accumulating on the positive electrode. The Daniell cell used a copper pot filled with copper sulfate and a central zinc rod in sulfuric acid, separated by a porous earthenware pot. This ingenious design allowed ions to pass through while keeping the liquids mostly separate. The result was the first reliable, long-lasting energy source. The Daniell cell didn't suffer from polarization, providing a constant voltage that could run for days or even weeks with minimal maintenance, transforming communication forever. Because of its reliability, the Daniell cell became the standard power source for the burgeoning telegraph industry. It powered the wires that connected cities and continents, making near-instantaneous global communication a reality for the first time. The transition from Galvani's twitching frog to Daniell's reliable cell represents one of the greatest leaps in scientific understanding. It was the moment we stopped observing electricity and began controlling it for the benefit of civilization. Today, we stand on the shoulders of these pioneers. From the ancient mystery of Baghdad to the high-tech lithium-ion cells in our pockets, the quest for better energy continues to drive the progress of our modern world.
In our last session, we saw how Alessandro Volta and the early pioneers turned chemical reactions into a steady stream of sparks. But those early piles had a fatal flaw. Once the chemical reaction stopped, the battery was dead. You couldn't refill it, you had to rebuild it. Today, we move into our second segment, Part 2, the industrial charge. We will look at the breakthrough that changed everything, the ability to recharge, and how shrinking the battery took electricity out of the lab and into our pockets.